So today's video, my first video, I'm going to talk about the MAC palette that I started right here and what eyeshadows I have in it, as well as why I would recommend getting a MAC palette. So, alright, let's get started. So first of all, from MAC, you can either go and get single eyeshadows, which are in those little your typical MAC containers, and those are around, I think, $18 to $20 Canadian. Or what I discovered, which is why I started this palette, was that you can get single MAC shadows in like little cardboard containers that you would take out typically and put into a MAC palette or a Z palette, which is a, oh, I have a Z palette right here. Z palette is like this. It's got a magnetic bottom, and then you would just, if I can get this out of here, take the shadow out and stick it back there. But I decided to actually purchase the MAC container and holder for the MAC eyeshadows, just because I like the look of it. So the MAC container is around, I think, $12 Canadian, and it comes with, as you can see, the outside casing with a, that's nice, magnetic closure. That wasn't actually a MAC shadow that fell out, so that's fine. Let's stick this back in here. Okay, let's ignore that just happened. Anyway, so it's got a magnetic closure, and then it also comes with this black part right here. That comes out as well, so you kind of stick the black part in and then put your shadows in. So this palette is my MAC eyeshadow palette. This is what I would bring with me if I go traveling. This is the shadows that I use for everyday looks. If I don't know what to do, I look at this and I'm like, okay, this, okay, we gotta look perfect. Which is why I also kind of started it, because palettes are nice. I love palettes, but you can't choose the colors in it, you know? Like Naked 3 is one of my least favorite Naked palettes. Just simply because, you know, I don't use all the colors in it. So it's almost like a waste of money buying a palette where it's like you pay per shadow technically, which is built into the price, and you don't use 5 of them. What are you gonna do, right? So that's why I would recommend starting, whether you want to start a Z palette with single shadows or you want to start a MAC palette with single shadows. I love the idea of, you know, having your own palette to bring with you everywhere, because you know exactly that you're going to use all of these. Let's start with this one right here. So this one right here is Brown Script. Yes, Brown Script. It's Brown Script. It is a matte eyeshadow. It's a more red, warm toned brown. I love this shadow for warm looks. I wouldn't necessarily use it as a base shadow meaning the first eyeshadow that you go in and put on your eye before any other eyeshadows. Because it is quite pigmented and dark in color, I would more so go in with this one right here, which is soft brown, and then go in with Brown Script. But I love Brown Script for warm smoky eyes. It's so gorgeous in the crease with a brush. What is this? Like this one, a Sigma E25, blends out Brown Script so beautifully, and it's a really good kind of transition shadow in between your base shadow and your crease shadow, which is the dark shadow that you have in your crease, obviously. This one right here is Embark. It is a dark brown. It doesn't blend as nicely as you would like. Anastasia Fudge blends a little bit nicer, but Embark is just, it's a gorgeous brown that everyone should have in their kit, because you can use it for any crease. You just need to work it a little bit more to blend it, but it's a beautiful dark deep brown. This one is the ever so popular MAC Satin Taupe. It is a, how do I describe it? It looks pretty boring in the pan, to be honest with you, but it is a gray kind of taupe color. It's a satin finish, so these two, for example, are matte, these two, and Satin Taupe is a satin finish. So it's not shimmery, but it has a little bit of sheen to it. You'll see it on the eye when you put it on. And I like that it's your perfect lid color for a smoky eye. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then put some Satin Taupe on the lid. You got a smoky eye right there. Next shadow right here is MAC All That Glitters. It is a beautiful classic champagne color. I think everyone should have a champagne color in their kit or their collection, because putting champagne on an eyelid is, you know, the easiest way to spice up a look or just like create a look. If you don't want to wear any eyeshadow, put a little bit of a champagne color such as this on your eyeshadow, or a light silver, and you've got a really pretty daytime look to wear. Okay, this one is MAC Soft Brown, which is a really good base color. Like I said, you want a base color to be a little slightly darker than your skin tone. So someone that is darker than me won't like this as a base shadow because it's not going to show up. Someone that's lighter than me may not like this as a base shadow. You might want something like Anastasia's Soft Peach, which is a little bit lighter, because it's going to look too dark on your eye. A base shadow is there to help blend all the other eyeshadows together. So that's what I use Soft Brown for. I love it. It's blendable. It's gorgeous. Everyone that is my skin tone, darker, lighter a little bit, would love Soft Brown. So this one right here is MAC Stars and Rockets. It's a really pretty, this is gonna sound complicated, but a really pretty blue-based pink purple. So when you look at it, it looks pink, but as you like see it in the different dimensions, it has some blue undertones in it, and it also has some purple undertones in it. So it's really pretty. As a lid color, you have to be careful, because with obviously pink tones on the eyelid, people tend to steer away from them. But because this has blue tones under it, it's a little bit more wearable than an actual like pure pink eyeshadow. So with this one, I would go with kind of a neutral shadow in the crease, such as Makeup Geek Latte. Because something, if you were to put red brick, it would just not mesh well with it. So I would do like a neutral brown in the crease, just kind of blend out the stars and rockets. All you would need to create a look with this one is a neutral brown shadow, like I said. Even MAC Wedge would work. And then that one on the lid. This is MAC Steamy. This blue right here. It is a gorgeous teal kind of turquoise blue. It's a gorgeous lid color if someone wants a pop of blue on their eyelid, especially people with brown eyes. Blue looks really good on their eyes. And this one right here, I'm sorry if I'm running out of breath, I'm not used to talking this much. This one right here is MAC, what is this? Deep Damson. It's a dark red, dark wine red rather. This is, I love using dark wine reds to add a little bit of warmth to a look. So for example, if you have these two colors, Embark and Red Brick together, and then you have this color on the lid, all the glitters, I would take Deep Damson on a small brush and place it just slightly above the crease. So say you have this one, dark one in the crease, I would add Deep Damson a little bit above the crease, and it just adds a kind of purpley reddy undertone to the look, and I think it adds dimension and it makes it look really pretty. I've done that a couple of times and I like the way that looks. You could also use this as an actual crease color, but you just have to be careful because it is a red color. Again, with the reds and the pinks, no one wants a bright red eyelid. Not that this is bright red, but you just got to be careful with how much you apply and what shadows you actually put with it. This right here is, what is this? Humid. Humid is a satin finish. It's like your typical kind of evergreen color. It would look really pretty on the eyelid for like a green smoky eye. Humid would kind of make the look a little bit different. Oh my god. This, no, not that. This right here is Amber Lights. Amber Lights is gold, a little bit darker than a stereotypical gold color, but nonetheless it's a really pretty, how do I describe it? It's like an antique gold. There you go. It's like an antique gold. Not as dark as many antique golds, but it is like an antique gold color. And it would look so pretty on people with, oh my gosh, gold colors on people with green eyes. Love it. So nice. This shade right here is MAC Parfait Amore. Oh, I'm getting far. Parfait Amore right here. It is a blue-based purple, so it's not red-based meaning it's a cooler purple, really easy to wear on the eyelid. It would look gorgeous again with this color right here, Latte by Makeup Geek. And yeah, I don't know. I like pops of color in my eyeshadow palettes because it gives you something different to wear. Of course, you know, if I could, I would wear browns my whole life. Browns and champagnes. But you gotta mix it up a little bit. And so I love like purples, pinks, a little bit of greens in there. You just gotta make sure you wear them with the right shadows again. So these last four are not actually MAC, as you've probably heard me saying Makeup Geek. You can actually get Makeup Geek shadows in their separate containers and put them in MAC palettes, which I discovered again, well, as this one fell earlier. They fit, but they don't fit as snug as the MAC ones. So some will be a little bit too big, you just kind of gotta press them in pretty hard. And then this one, again, obviously is a little bit too small. But they fit nonetheless. Just don't dump your palette over, not that you really want to do that, because that would be not very good. But yeah, so Makeup Geek, I have a matte one right here, and these three right here are foiled shadows, which are some of my favorite eyeshadow formulas on the market. So nice. So bottom shade right here is like a dream crease brown shadow. It works with warm tones, it works with cool tones, it works with so many skin tones. The shade is Makeup Geek Latte. It blends beautifully. It's a little bit dusty when you first pick it up, so if you were to pick it up with this is a goat hair brush, I think earlier called a synthetic brush, sorry. This is a goat hair brush, Sigma E25. It gets a little bit dusty because in a goat hair brush the hairs are a little bit thicker. I wonder if this will show up. No, I'm just gonna focus on my face. They're a little bit thicker than a synthetic hairbrush. Oh, so yeah, just be careful because it can get a little bit messy. But Makeup Geek Latte, a beautiful, beautiful blending color. You can even wear it on the lid. I love this shadow. And then these three are foiled shadows by Makeup Geek. Foiled shadows are, how do I describe them? They're like a metallic eyeshadow. They aren't powdery, but they're not a liquid form, so they are emollient. So if you imagine an eyeshadow being mixed with a little bit of oil or moisture, obviously they're not oily at all, but they're slightly creamy, and that's what makes them so metallic, is the fact that they're slightly creamy. So let me zoom you in on this. So this one right here is Jester. This one right here is Charmed, and this one right here is Starry Eyed. So Jester is a really pretty goldy green color, really pretty on the lid. Charmed looks like silver, but when you put it on, it has a slight green tinge to it. It's a really cool shadow. And then Starry Eyed is a beautiful lid color for anything, honestly. It is such a perfect lid color. If you don't know what to put on your eyelid, put Starry Eyed on your eyelid and you'll be good to go. It's a really pretty light silver champagne color. So yeah, there we go. So as you can see, it literally looks like liquid metal on my yeah, so it literally looks like liquid metal. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous on your eyelid. I like, if you want a multi-dimensional look, I would use a foiled shadow over a stereotypical eyeshadow like this because it just adds so much more and I love it so much. So yeah, that is my MAC palette. I love it. It's my baby. I would grab this over a eyeshadow palette like this. No hate to Anastasia. I'm gonna say I like this palette because I like this palette. But I would grab this over this because I know what's in here, I know the colors in here, I know how they perform, I know looks I can do with this, and it's just, you know, my shadows that I love. So I would suggest to anyone that has or wants to add more to the collection to start a MAC palette. Why not, right? Yes, it is expensive, but if you want to buy the single shadow, this is more expensive than buying them separate in the little containers. I'm gonna shut up now. If you have any questions about MAC eyeshadows or my palette, shoot them at me. This is my first YouTube video. Peace out. I don't know what to say here. I talk a lot. I'm running out of breath. I don't know how people do this. I hope to make more YouTube videos, but we need to get a good camera. I have to get the lighting figured out because I'm using my vanity lighting for this. Well, it's better to use natural light because I don't look like such a Oompa Loompa. But regardless, ignore the fact that I'm yellow. And my table's shaking because I don't have a tripod, so we're just MacGyvering this whole thing right here. Anyways, thank you for watching.